thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, my little character isn't moving. So, as you guys know, Diddy has received his sentencing. What do you guys think about that? He received 50 months. So, after I guess they put into account time served, they're saying he has a little over 2 years, 2.5 years. So, what do you guys think about that? I mean, do you think that the victims are okay with that? You know, they did write some very impactful stories. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? So I want to pull up. Let me go. Because to be honest, I said I'm just going to hop on here and go through some little topics and then see where it takes me. So, as you guys can see, they're talking about Trump and how Trump might be his only option. You know what? Let me see if I can do this real quick so that you guys can have something to look at. You guys are working with me. I'm working right now. So yeah, so they are saying that let's go down and see what media takeout is talking about. I don't know why them dogs feel like they want to get up there and get out funky when I get up here. So it's saying that media takeout confirmed that Sean Diddy Combs was just sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison, a shocking blow that came down this afternoon in New York. The hip hop mogul's legal team fought hard for the sentence of time served, but the judge wasn't having it. Now, according to the judge, this was no ordinary Mann Act case. While the jury didn't convict Diddy on sex trafficking or racketeering, the court leaned heavily on testimony about his infamous freak-offs and allegations that he used violence and coercion. The judge labeled those details as aggravating factors and then slammed Diddy with a much harsher sentence than experts predicted. This means Diddy will remain in prison for years unless something dramatic occurs, right? So Diddy's attorneys plan to appeal, but insiders say that the appeals of this kind take months, even years, and rarely result in immediate freedom. His sentencing memorandum argued for 14 months total, but the judge made clear he wasn't buying it. So if the courts won't save him, who will? All right now. So behind the scenes, people are saying that Diddy's camp has been in constant communication with the people close to Donald Trump. Now, mind you, Diddy's attorney and Trump attorney, like all those people in cahoots with each other, child. Okay? So Trump and Diddy go back decades, and while their friendship has had its ups and downs, one thing is clear: Trump has the power to commute or pardon federal sentences. Sources say Diddy's team is now confident that if the appeals fail, Trump could step in. You know what? Trump could step in, but the veil is off. You would never be looked at the same. You will always have this on your jacket. You get what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you got convicted, but the governor got you out. Yeah, but you really was convicted, though. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. With the presidential election looming and Trump known for celebrity pardons in the past. Hold on, let me grab some. His celebrity pardons in the past, insiders believe he may see helping Diddy as both a political and cultural play. It will not be the flex you think it is, sir. It will not be the flex you think it is. Now, for Diddy, the reality is stark. His empire is crumbling, his reputation has taken blow after blow, and now his freedom is in the hands of a president. Unless the courts perform a miracle, Donald Trump is Diddy's last hope. Uh, I mean, do we feel sorry for him now? I don't know. I don't know if I feel sorry for him because, I mean, come on, sir. You know, they kind of say he did some kind of really mean things, really horrible things. So I'm trying to see if it's anything else that I want to talk about because, I got to make sure I put my time in because I got to get in this algorithm. Because I want you guys to be able to go on this journey with me, no matter where it goes. I don't know where it's going. I just know it's going to go somewhere. I see a lot of transcripts, where they're going back and forth, and we're not about to go through all that. The man got 50 years, so we're going to be fine with that. Um, let's see what else they got up here. Northwest, um, I'm not really interested in kids news, but I will say that I heard a rumor. Y'all remember that guy, Derek Jackson? He was the self-care guru type person. Work with me real quick while I put this little slideshow together for y'all. Because I do want to talk about him. Because I saw quite a few rumors, actually, about him, his new girlfriend, and his wife. And I was just, do y'all even remember that? I don't really want to go down that memory lane. But, I got to get audio too, so y'all can hear the audio. Okay. So, yeah, Mr. Derek Jackson has found new love. And he's requesting that the wife, or ex-wife rather, take her name off of his take his name off of her. Okay, so I'm almost finished. Y'all work with me now. Now see that I didn't even tell y'all, like, just hold on, I'm about to finish this. No. I was doing it while I was talking. Call that multitasking. So where do I want to put this at? I am going to put this, where is it at? I want to put this, where are we going to put this at? Okay. So, let's see, who do I want to put up there first? So we talked about Diddy and how, 5 years, 4 years and some change. I'm not a victim, so it ain't really too much I can say on it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's right in any kind of way. Where do I want to put this slideshow? I'm going to put the slideshow right here, y'all. So y'all can watch the slideshow, child. Okay. Come on. I got to make it big enough for the people. Okay. So see, now I know, moving forward, that I would just continue to either do my pre-records or just have my stuff already together when I come on. Yep. Right. So anyway, Derek J and his wife. Well, let's see here. Where is that other picture? Because I want you guys to see his new lady. They got a new lady. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Why did he go there? Okay. Oh, that's what it was. So I was trying to get that up there. Hold on. Let me do this. Okay. Come on. All right. And then over here at the YouTube, let's get this over there. So, yeah. Okay, so now this will be somewhat kind of, I'm about to see if this is going to contradict what I heard earlier. So, the internet relationship guru, Derek Jacken, is making headlines again. And this time, it has nothing to do with his so-called advice videos. Do he still make those videos? Do we? Who's still listening to him? The man proved, okay. So it has been confirmed that the 35-year-old social media star just dropped a huge bag on his new girlfriend, buying a luxurious Miami home. Of course, because she already know what it is. You gonna get something about this. The mysterious woman, we're told, is a model. And Derek seems to be going all out on his new relationship. She better be careful. The purchase is being said as a bold move considering how rocky his personal life has been over the past few years. Sis said, we're going to go ahead on the move real fast. Fans remember Derek's fame from his fall from grace, once known as a relationship expert who made viral videos calling out unfaithful men. Derek was exposed as a cheater himself. His then wife, who had been with him since the early days and helped him build his brand, confronted him publicly. Instead of patching things up, Derek turned the drama into a full-blown split. What followed was an ugly divorce battle. According to court insiders, Derek did everything he could to protect his money and brand. He reportedly fought to keep from splitting assets with his wife and even to force her to legally drop his last name, arguing that she couldn't profit from the brand he wanted to keep exclusive. The judge wasn't buying it, and Derek lost that fight. Now, so with the divorce finalized, Derek wasted no time celebrating his freedom. Sources tell that he's spoiling his new girlfriend with a dream property in Miami, completed with luxury finishing, model decor, and plenty of space to show off on Instagram. The purchase has social media buzzing, with many fans pointing out that Derek seems more willing to invest in a new girlfriend than he was in repairing his marriage. This man built an empire on bashing other men for cheating, one fan wrote. Now he's out here buying mansions for his side chick turned girlfriend. You can't make this up. There's no evidence that Derek and his current girlfriend were dating while he was, still married to his wife. So we can't say that. But it's unclear whether Derek plans to rebuild his relationship expert brand after all the scandal. But one thing is for sure, his personal life is just as dramatic ever. And for his ex-wife, insiders say she's doing just fine, keeping the name and plenty of supporters who think she dodged a bullet. And she did, well, not really, because she really fought for that. She didn't want to leave that man. But let me let y'all hear this audio that she did when she went on Word Marriage Enrichment.
What did that do to you?
I became a shell of myself. I didn't know who I was. I actually have a couple posts on my page where I have a post that says, I knew her body better than I knew my own.
Stop. Let that sit there.
No, we don't. She was complicit.
You said you knew another woman's body better than you knew your own.
Yes, several women. I knew several other women's bodies better than I knew my own. And I spent a lot of time, I went in such a deep hole where I was studying these women. I would go to their profiles and I would study their pages and what they wear. I knew when they had met up. So I watched their videos of them having sex. So I would try to imitate that and recreate that in our relationships so that he could choose me and want me. And that is a low point to be. And I'm tearing up a little bit because I hate that I even got to a point where that was a thing, but that it was just that. And so I knew several other women's bodies better than I knew my own. I completely lost myself. I became a shell of myself. I tried to imitate their hair, their actions, even sexual.
Oh, that's just so horrible. That's just so horrible. Ladies, please don't allow yourself to get that deep down into no kind of love. So the Breakfast Club apparently gave Nicki Minaj Donkey of the Day. Now, I don't necessarily... Okay, so now hear me out, right? Hear me out. So, I'm kind of on the fence. Yeah, I ride the fence from time to time. I'm a woman. I can do that, right? Isn't it part of my nature as being a woman where I can ride the fence if I feel like it? Isn't it? That's what my auntie Wendy says. She says, as a woman, you can change your mind whenever you want to, or something like that. I can't quote the lady, verbatim. Wow, y'all really want too much. But yeah, so Let me add this here picture in here. Yeah, y'all at work with me. Ha ha. So, what they say here? Hold on, let me see here. So they say in response to her tweets online targeting Charlamagne the God and the Breakfast Club co-host, Charlamagne responded by giving Nicki Donkey of the Day for her controversial social media post and her beef with Cardi B. Let me turn that off. Okay, come on. Okay. Your energy is just stank and nasty. You went from showing a generation how to be a female boss to showing a generation how to be a disgruntled artist. How does that happen? How do you go from inspiring a generation of women to hating on a generation of young women? This is what Charlamagne asked. Who got that caffeine in her? He continued, well, that's what happens when a person is in pain. That's what happens when a person is hurt. That's what happens when a person has a bunch of unhealed trauma that they haven't dealt with. He went on to say, Charlamagne called her tweets a cry for help and went on to add, your trauma is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. I truly, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, hope you heal. Nicki responded by retweeting allegations that dated back to 2001 when Jessica Reed, then 15, said he sexually assaulted her at a South Carolina party after she was given alcohol. Charlamagne was never convicted of rape. He pled guilty to providing alcohol to minors and received probation. Reed has continued to pursue the case in both criminal and civil court, but prosecutors declined to reopen it. In 2024, a New York judge dismissed her lawsuit as too late to file. Charlamagne has constantly denied the assault, saying his DNA never matched. So where y'all think that's gonna go? Y'all think Charlamagne gonna? You know what I just thought about? Hold on, child. Well, I got y'all on here real quick. Why? Let me see here. Y'all know. Let me turn this down. So I thought that the beef was over between the girls, right? Like I did a video yesterday where it was like, Cardi B did her last post on X and she was saying like, look here, Trick, we not about to go back and forth no more. You need to just drop your location and that's it. You get what I'm saying? She said, kind of repeated what Charlamagne said, which makes me think Charlamagne read her response, her final response to Nicki, so-called, and then kind of put that in there because it did kind of resonate, right? Like if you have trauma, deal with it. You get what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't deep dive into that because listen, it's so much about a celebrity that I go into. I don't know every damn thing about the people. But anyway, so I posted what Cardi had said about, dear Onika, and then she had this long ass thing, right? So then Nicki came back and she was just like, wait a minute. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. Okay. So Nicki came back and was like, and sing, right? Like she had did Two Little Close and then she did and sing. But then she came back and she said, before that, she had said something about, we're going to boycott every company that's attached to Cardi B, just like we did with BET. Every company that enabled Cardi B disgusting remarks about children and other marginalized groups for years. You have 3 days to cut ties with Cardi B. That is it. That is all. Enjoy your day. We have receipts. And if you are still underestimating my influence, try me. So she said that, right? Then she put out a note and she said, then Nicki came and said, this here, dear black women, I can guarantee in caps, I can guarantee you that hoe would never ever get on my net. Oh, she trying to take away Beyonce's net. That hoe would never get on my net and discuss another black baby again. I can guarantee you that hoe would never ever call black women roaches and monkeys again. Someone had to do it. So then Nicki said, guess who just got a call telling me I have to leave New York? Is this not suspicious? LOL, we're not going anywhere. Dear Matt and Barry Kahlberg. I don't know, maybe that's her lawyers. But if she didn't have that man with her, then she can move around in silence. Because I think everywhere he go, he got to tell everybody, right? Like, isn't it like a warning? Like, he coming into town. He over here, you know? And I don't mean because they scared of him. Well, they might be scared of him, but it ain't in that way. I ain't trying to take my... Then Nicki say, remember when Jay-Z said he left condoms in a car seat, in a child's car seat? Then she said, it's funny how all these other queens stayed silent when she mocked my son for years. Then, what was this? Oh, okay. I'm going to talk about that later. Okay. Then she said, Jay-Z got mad that I wouldn't give him a belt that I had already began legal paperwork for. A beat. Oh, sorry. So she said, Jay-Z got mad that I wouldn't give him a beat that I had already began legal paperwork for. The song I did with The Weeknd on Queen, he said it's Beyonce's beat. Holberson just laid down and let him take it and then sued me for remaking a similar beat. The I Thought I Knew You with The Weeknd, because that's my jam. I thought I knew you. Guess I didn't. I would play it for y'all, but they be tripping over here, child. And then she said, Jay-Z so jealous of Nas, I was sued for hundreds of thousands over the song I did with Nas. It never saw the light of day. Cassine, no, your number is called. Then she posted, when me and Nas did the shoot with the old school cars, guess who was seen taking pictures in the hood in old school cars? Then she tweets another tweet. Let's get into the sabotage of my tour with Future, which then became my tour with Juice WRLD, who coincidentally died on my birthday. Belt to ass on these posing ass coons. Let's go. Then she said, yeah, she's still going. Let's get into the sabotage of my... Oh, wait a minute. I did that one already. Okay. Reebok can Rick Ross fat sloppy ass for less. Wait a minute. She said Reebok can Rick Ross fat sloppy ass for less, didn't they? Oh, okay, let's see. Now that whole Rick Ross scandal, what was that about? What was that? Oh, because he had made that song where he was like, he put it in a drink, had fun with it, she didn't even know it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you just literally admitted to drugging and raping a woman. Can I say that? I don't know. I already said it now, child. We love the TikTok shop over here. Wait, this what? No. Anyway, that's YouTube and Twitch. Hey, listen. If you still here or you listening, please share, like, and subscribe. At least click share, like, subscribe. Leave me a comment. Give me a little engagement, child. Anyway, so yeah, so she did that. So here comes Cardi B. Somebody told Cardi B to stop responding to Nicki Minaj. And Cardi B said, nah, I'ma stop. But I'm not gonna let her flip the narrative. That's why she was deleting tweets the first day to make it seem like somebody was bothering her. But I want to see when I was mocking her son. I want her to show me. Y'all not flipping narratives around here. Bragging on my child's intelligence is not mocking your son. So was she mocking my kid when she was showing her son hair length? When he was banging spoons? Because I ain't take it that way. All right, and then we went on. Oh, just to let y'all know that there's a plan to dump 45,000 gallons of radioactive water in the New York Hudson River that a court that approved. Just so y'all, I'm going to do a story on it. But yeah, 45,000 gallons of radioactive water. And it's going to go into the Hudson River. And of course, the water just gonna stay there because water never moves around. It's just very, you know, it's just solid. It ain't gonna go nowhere. So yeah, they trying. Yeah, That's why you invest in water. And people say, well, water is free. Well, it polluted water. Yeah, that's free. How long can you drink that? Interesting. Very, very interesting. So back to Nicki and Cardi, because I'm telling y'all, after this, I don't know if I'm gonna talk about it no more. Because these women are grown. They are grown, married. Even though one is going through divorce and pregnant, technically, if she had to write down, she's still married. They say married, single, divorced. She's technically still married. So these are two married, multi-millionaire women. Even though some people are saying Nicki Minaj money has been very funny for some time and that she didn't make any money off that tour that she did because she had to pay back a lot of stuff. I don't know. Anyway, they got rich people problems. You get what I'm saying? You rich broke, you better than my broke. You get what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it's different if you broke and you sitting in a multi-million-dollar mansion in a pool right there and you got all these diamonds on and they probably a butler or a housekeeper or something, because I know damn well you ain't in here doing these baseboards in this 30,000 square foot home. Who gonna, you know how long you gonna be doing baseboard? Let me get on back on those. Okay, so Nicki posted, "Dear Culture, listen. Sometimes I'll be going somewhere else, but I'm always come back. Just follow me though." All right, so Nicki posted, "Dear Culture, truth is, I did all of this for a bigger purpose, and one day you'll understand. You're a cute child, and lots of kids have cute little funny looking gems before they grow into all of their features. One day you'll see this, so I have to say I apologize as a child of God and queen of my community who look at me for integrity. You're an innocent child, and I don't deserve any of it, and you don't deserve any of this. One day your mother, auntie, and many more will be brought to their knees for what they said and tried to do to my young prophet, beautiful boy. Take care, my darling. This isn't who I am." So then Cardi B, if she ain't gonna if she ain't gonna do nothing, she gonna come back with something. She said, "Dear Papa Perk." Hold on, let me pick my phone back up, child. All right. She said, "Dear Papa Perk, I'm sorry that your mammy, your mammy, your mother," no, she said her mommy. She said, "I'm sorry that your mommy haven't cut you a birthday cake for the past 3 days, haven't cut you a birthday cake for the past 3 days, because she can't take my success or happiness. One day you are going to grow up, and I hope you understand when a girl says no, it means no, and you can overcome the pedophilia blood you inherited from your grandfather, father, and uncle." Oh, my goodness. Child, she said, "Please don't hate me when you grow up, because your mommy rather give me more attention than she gives you. Hopefully when somebody that really cares about her puts her in rehab and get her the help she needs, she come out and read you a book." Child. Child. Then she went on to say, "Don't give my child no backhanded apology. Keep my child name out your mouth, because I'm always take you where you don't want to go about mine. Honest truth, this going back and forth about kids is really draining my energy. I don't want to keep mentioning kids. It feels very nasty and dark. But the energy you keep giving my kids, I'm going to resend back to the messenger." Uh, Also, United Health, they are exiting Medicare Advantage plans in 109 U.S. counties. So that's not going to be too good. Offset jumped into the conversation. And so Offset, he has spoken out strongly against Nicki Minaj after her recent remarks appeared to take aim at Cardi B and their children. Refusing to stay silent, Offset condemned what he described as low blows, making it clear that family, especially kids, should never be put into industry drama. It's one thing to come at me, he said, but to use kids as a way to insult or demean is the lowest move, possible. Cardi and my kids don't deserve that. I've always stood up for my family, protected them no matter what our marital status was. He went on to add, she wants to pick a fight with Cardi, that's her choice, but dragging the kids into it, that's something I would never accept. So, the statement has sparked major discussion online, with many applauding Offset for drawing a firm line when it comes to his children and, at least speaking out, right? So that's good that he said something. Mayor Eric Adams, his ex, I'm going to do a story on this too, child. Mary, his ex, I did a story on her. I did a little thing on her, I think last week. Oh, this week. I think it was earlier this week. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, so she is writing a tell-all book. I did do a story on them earlier because he announced that he is going to be pulling out of the race because some way he's saying that they're holding the money. They won't let him touch the money. Child, we don't know where you're going to go with this money. So they're not letting him hold the money. They don't trust him. So he's dropping out of the race. And now his ex, who landed a 160K City Hall gig, is releasing a tell-all book on their secret romance. So I will be keeping you guys up to date on that because I might go and read it. I like a little scandal. You know what I'm saying? And I love a little truth scandal too. I like a little fiction here and there, but give me some, like that movie Blink Twice, if you ever seen it, where you have Tatum Tatum and Tatum Channing. Yeah, I just chopped his name all the way up. But he is the guy, and you know what I'm saying? Like when you watch it, and I remember watching this, what's her name? Zoe Kravitz. She was doing an interview, and she was like, that movie was like, it was based off like real stuff, even though it's fictional, it's fantasy because these people aren't real, but in all actuality, it was based off of things she's experienced and she's seen, right? And, if you go online, especially Reddit, you have different perspectives. Some people think it's kind of like a bit Diddy. Some people think it's kind of a little, different people who have been allegedly known to have wild parties and people get all kind of messed up and don't remember stuff and all kind of crazy stuff. So, And what else is going on in the world? Oh, yeah. So Trump, he's supposed to be freezing, or he has already froze $18 billion in funding for New York City. That's a key democratic leader town, city. And I think he was saying something about, I don't know if this is in direct relation to, he was saying if they vote Mangandi in, and pardon my French if I mess his name up, but I'm not from New York. But the Indian guy, or is he Muslim? But anyway, the guy who's really, I think he's more like a socialist, but he's running on a Democratic ticket. But he's really trying to look out for the majority of people, which are the poor people, because it's not a lot of rich people. You get what I'm saying? Like they count them. Oh, it's 374 million millionaires, but it's like 9,000 million billion fucking poor people. You get what I'm saying? So he's really trying to look out for the less fortunate out in New York City. I think they have raised, or they're going to be raising the bus fees. That's going to be going up. And so he wants to just make transportation free. You get what I'm saying? And I don't understand why, they want to just keep you just enslaved like that. You get what I'm saying? Because if you have more money, then you can spend it in the economy, right? Like in Burkina Faso, for instance, they're going to have free electricity, the bus line system. I think that's going to be like little to nothing, like 5 or 10 cents or something like that. They're going to have free living, like, apartments and homes and stuff like that. Like, they're going to take care of their people. So you really tell when a country take care of their people. But then you also can tell when a country has their own wealth where they can afford to take care of their own people. If you have never been to Kuwait, I would recommend going. I know that people think like, oh my God, Kuwait is probably so strict over there and all this other stuff. I mean, if you are somebody who just kind of follow the law anyway, and I mean by following the law, I mean you just mind your business, do what you got to do. You ain't trying to bother nobody. You're not out here stealing, robbing, killing, none of that. You just, trying to live your life in a peaceful manner without intruding or, on someone else's peace. Then you can go over there and have a good time because I don't understand. You're not going to do anything. I lived in Kuwait for work for a little over a year. And I never had a bad experience. I saw some crazy stuff. Don't get me wrong, because it is a different culture, different types of people. So they maneuver in a different way. But I didn't experience anything. And I know women, I'm a woman. But I know us as women, we like to go places where we feel like it's safe for women. There's nowhere that's just safe for women, right? I hear these comments when I used to go to Dubai for work. When I used to go to Dubai and, people would say, oh, Dubai is the safest place. Women, you could just walk out on the street at any time of the night and, XYZ. Now, don't get me wrong. You can because it looks very safe. However, there are sickos any and everywhere. And then you have to keep in mind that some countries do not take female issues as serious as others, right? Like in America, you might have something happen to you. You can go and do a police report. They'll follow up. If you know the person or if they have enough evidence, then this person could go to jail. It's a whole process, a due process in a sense, right? But, in some countries, they don't have that. They might not even take you serious that you even reporting it. You get what I'm saying? Because if that's just kind of where, some of those countries are at with that, That's why they want the women to dress in black, because you should do as much as you can to not get attacked. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's on you if you get attacked. You ever just sat back and thought, like, when did women feel the need to bow to men? Because women raise men. You get what I'm saying? And then there are countries where patriarchy is not the thing, it's matriarchs. You know what I'm saying? And they're peaceful communities. The women raise. Some of them, the women might have 2 or 3 husbands. The men take care, wash the children. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand how the producer of life, right, should also bow down to the produced. You get what I'm saying? Like, I gave you life and then I should listen to your guidance. But I gave you your guidance. But I'm listening to you so you feel as, like, we always validating men. And it's just crazy how I was taking this class and it just talked about how, like, in ancient Greek or, how men used to do things to dress as women because deep down, and I guess this was just back then, a lot of men wanted to be women because they just was so in admiration. You can bring life. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they turn in and it's like, what do I bring? And don't get me wrong, it takes a man to make a baby. But yeah, they have a lot of, I just found it so weird how they just had these different, like, pictures, because you know they'll do a lot of calligraphy and all this other calligraphy or calligraphy. You know, when they do the little sketching and stuff on walls and all, and like the men, you know how they would like tuck their stuff and all that. And even though it's still theater, it's play, but it just goes to show like people, you know, it's a thin line between love and hate, right? A lot of times people hate something so much because they deep down they envious of it. They wish they were it. They wish they had it, and they just don't know what it is. It might not just be, you know, like I don't want to be you. I just want whatever that is that's in you. I just want that. I want to be me, but how you exuberate this whatever it is, I want that because I don't have that. You get what I'm saying? And that's what women are, I think, sometimes. Well, from what I gather from how the author was doing it, was that he was, you know, he was just saying, because it was a guy who wrote the book, but he was just basically saying, like, you know, it's not a nuance that men dress and act like women. You know, throughout time, men have always wanted to be, not all women, not all men, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, let me move on, because that was a little long thing. So, yeah, so I don't know. I don't really care about Nicki and Charlemagne and all that. I do want to hit on the fact that y'all remember. Now, child, let me tell y'all something. I told y'all in a video that I had posted, because I'm about to let y'all see this here. I told y'all in a video that I had posted that Dame Dash went on the goddamn Breakfast Club and got to talking about how he was doing his. So you know, I still haven't seen them. I still haven't seen the Breakfast Club interview, and I'm not gonna watch it. But I told y'all, when I told y'all that Dame Dash was going to go on, he went on the Breakfast Club and got to running his mouth too damn much. So now y'all know I got to put the picture up in here real quick. Let me put the picture up in here so y'all can see the picture. So now he had made a comment, or he had posted, and I seen what he had posted, and he posted something and was like, he has to go to court because the attorney heard his interview on the Breakfast Club, and now they would like to do. Hold on, let's see. Let me put that back up. Okay. So they would like to do. Okay, so let me just read it to you, right? So a federal judge has cleared the way for a public auction of Dame Dash business assets. In an order issued Wednesday, the U.S. Magistrate Judge Robert Lingberger ruled that creditors may proceed with selling property tied to Dame Dash Company, Poppington LLC, even though Dash filed for personal bankruptcy in September with more than $25 million in debt. The ruling stems from disputes with entertainment financier Christopher Brown, who has secured multiple judgments against Dash, including $850,000 tied to the Dear Frank the List film fight, and $4 million defamation. He had a defamation default judgment over comments Dash made on the earlier Leisure podcast. According to court filings, he owes roughly $19 million in back taxes. God, that's a minute now. Including $8.7 million to the IRS in New York State, $9.65 million to New York State Department of Taxation and Finances, $5.79 million to LA County, and $3.5 million to the state of New Jersey. Wait a minute now. Now I'm just gonna ask y'all this here, and don't take this the wrong way. At what point do you just say, you know what? Let me go ahead on and sell this? Right? Listen. So if they saying that you owe 8.7 mil to the IRS in New York State for one property, at what point before we get to 8.7 million do you say, let me go ahead on and get up out this house, sell it, give it back to the bank, look, drop the keys off, I don't even stay there no more, I done cut the water off, the lights ain't coming on no more, my lawn care, they stopped, this was the last, that's it. So you got about 30 days to try to get out there in the market for the grass get up there. I don't know, I don't understand. So in the court documents that they looked at, the items on the block included film rights, copyrights, and other business holdings. These items have already been turned over to the U.S. Marshal Service. Enforcement proceedings are not stayed as to the defendant Poppington LLC, the judge wrote, adding the auctions may also move forward for any dash assets that were assigned to the marshals before September the 4th. Assignment is a transfer of ownership. Oh. Oh, wait a minute now. Okay. Dash personal enforcement proceedings are paused for now under bankruptcy rules, but the corporate sale can go ahead. The court found, and because those assets were already in the government's hand. Child, when I tell you, sometimes it's just good to just keep your mouth closed. I think, sometimes you just need to just take that just and be quiet, And I mean that. Like, take it and be quiet. You don't have to go and tell everybody. You don't have to go and tell everybody that you, that all your assets is over here and your kids got it in their name and all this other stuff. You ain't got to do it. You ain't got to do it. You know what? I saw, well, y'all know that Ray J, the Kardashians, I talked about this in the previous video, that the Kardashians, well, particularly Kim and Chris, are suing Ray J for the comments that he made that they were going to be, recalled or something like that. I talked about it. I just can't stand how Brandy's little brother, our cousin's little brother, always embarrassing us. Like, I love me some Brandy, yeah. The come on now. The vocal Bible, y'all better leave that lady alone. But her brother always doing something. Always doing something. He just always doing something. Oh, if you get on my nerves, I'll just be wanting to be like, don't you have like a wife and some children just walking around? Y'all saw when he was on Casanat and he was walking around there with a heart on, making them kids uncomfortable. And then, man, let me tell y'all something. Do y'all see how fast they swept that under the rug with him making that comment when that boy, Deshaun Frost made that comment and was saying, oh, excuse, that little soda just be. That he had made that comment saying that what's his name? That Ray J had touched him. Yeah. I played the video. Go back and watch the video. I played the video. That boy said that Ray J touched him while he woke up and he felt sore. And when I tell you, none of them people paid that boy no mind. They all act like that. Kai walked off the screen. Like, I'm not even about to get us no entertainment at all. So, y'all know that white girl, Bobby old Adolph? The awkward white girl who kind of did something. And then her husband left her because she was doing too much, even though she wasn't doing nothing at all. So, let me pause that real quick. So, so she's a podcaster. She hopped on social media to announce that a close friend of hers had been kidnapped by ICE agents. She said, kidnapped in broad daylight by men who came up in an unmarked Nissan with blacked out windows. He was not read his rights. He was not even talked to like he was a real effing human. She said it was mind blowing. The comedian has been calling the unit to try to get information about her friend's status, but that when she does, she's treated rudely. She's a comedian? Oh. Let me see here. Hold on, Bobby. Slow down. She said every time. Well, hold on. Let's see what she said here. Y'all can hear this. Hold on.
Legally. They're going up to people who are here legally too and having them prove that they're legal, aka racially profiling these people. And I get that it's easy if you are white and this is not going to affect you, but it's not going to not affect you forever, because once you have someone with that much power and control, it's only a matter of time before it does affect you or someone you love. And it's really disappointing to see nobody speaking up about this online, with so many people with big platforms. And I get it, people educated, but that's not really an excuse. Educate yourself on what's happening right now. It's a very fucking scary time to be an American, and it's an even scarier time to be an American who is a person of color. So if you have a platform, speak up. And if you're someone who used to be like I was, because when I was a child, I grew up to a very conservative mom and dad, even though my mom was Mexican. And it took me a couple years into adulthood to finally realize how ignorant I was and how much my views lacked empathy. I was only thinking about me and myself and what affected me, but not other people. It's a dangerous, dangerous world to live in, where everybody is just thinking about themselves and what will directly affect them. So I don't know really what else I can do right now with the platform. If anybody has any ideas of what I can do, I would love to hear them. I would love to try and organize some type of peaceful protest, but the problem with that is that this government loves to take peaceful protests and turn them into something they're not, just so that they can start war on their own people.
Well, she said, she went on to say every single time she tried to call, they have been nothing but rude. None of them have to identify themselves. They get to abuse their power. They get to abuse their control and keep these people in horrible, horrible conditions. I don't care whether or not you're a Republican or Democrat. This is a human rights issue. Racially profiling is not acceptable. What's happening everywhere right now is not acceptable, and it is one step closer to a dictatorship. Trump has been deploying ICE agents and the National Guard to various blue states to clean up their cities. The deployments have been met with protests. So that's where we are. That's where we're at with that. So, until it hits home, that's when people start caring. That's the sad part. That is really sad. You know what I'm thinking about doing? Because I'm about to wrap this up. So I'm going to tell y'all what I'm thinking about doing. Ain't nobody on here anywhere I can talk. I am thinking that, I just hear about so many different options with the world. And I don't know if because I'm like a older millennial. Well, I was born in 83, so I'm like the older millennial. But I'm not sure if it's just how I was raised in like that kind of, I don't know, I just have such a free spirit that I really just feel as though, because I do have a job, and I am thankful for having a job. But I've also been very cautious on like saving and stuff like that, right? Like and so I am thinking that, you can't predict what's gonna go on, right? And I don't necessarily know what's going to happen with my job. I mean, so far, at one point we were overstaffed, and then this whole federal thing came out, and they had a lot of people that started taking these DRP type situations. And with that being said, like after that smoke cleared, now we're understaffed. And I don't know still where that leaves me, because no one is really comfortable. My supervisor's not comfortable. Her supervisor's not comfortable. No one is comfortable. So I say that to say that I don't know if it's because of my age, but I am in such a peaceful space in life to where no matter what happens, I am ready for it and I am ready for the ride. If I, were to lose my employment, knock on wood, I would take that as a sign to travel. And I would travel. I would go and travel. I would leave America for sure. I would. I would leave America for sure because I own my home. And so I would rent this out and I would travel. I wouldn't necessarily just be living off this. I have other streams of income. So I would have money coming in outside of, the money that I have saved, right? So it's just not like I just go and just, go with $5 in my pocket, a hope and a dream. That's not gonna happen. But I do feel fortunate that I'm in a space to where I find peace in a time where a lot of people don't have it, and I feel really, really sad for them. I was talking with my little cousin last night, and I was telling her, I was like, "Look, you gotta get your passport. Get your passport, get your baby passport." And she was like, "Yeah, yeah, I want to get one, and somebody else they need to get theirs too, and they can't get theirs to next year." So, and I was like, "Listen, you need to get yours now. Now we understand why they can't get theirs to next year because they have this time frame they have to let pass. But you need to get yours, you and your kids. So if anything pop off, you can get up and get up out of here, and you're not necessarily like, stuck. And you could call me, hey, cuz, where you at? I need a flight. Can you book me a ticket? I'm gonna get you up out of there." But I just feel that the way that the world is, you can't just get used to anything comfortable because nothing is comfortable. And if you're black, then you should. I don't know if it's just the way that I was raised, but I was just raised to always be flexible and have the ability to, adapt to your surroundings. You get what I'm saying? And so I just feel as though right now is a time to where you need to be able to adapt to your surroundings. Like I just started doing that Duolingo, that Duo app. Well, I'm taking Chinese. Chi chi. Yeah, uh-huh. Chi chi. Yeah. This is there. You know what I'm saying? You learning some stuff, right? It's a couple. Well, I learned how to say cafe, which that's coffee, and chai, that's tea, and a couple. I only been on it like 3 days, but I got it set to do like 5 minutes a day, and they said it should be like 50 words that I should be able to have in my vocabulary by the end of every month. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be doing my little Spanish too. Don't está, yeah. So I wanna be able to move around, and I took Spanish in school and college. I took it for like a year. I actually did pretty good in there, reading it and writing it. But oh Lord, when we had to do that play, you got to memorize it, and oh my God. But we practiced. Me and my teammates, we practiced on it and stuff before class a couple times, so it was good to go. I still was like, oh my God, I was up there doing it like, oh my God, I'm speaking Spanish like I know it. But anyway, but yeah, so I'm thinking about that. My homegirl was talking about she want to go to Canada. She was like, she want to go. I was like, why you want to go to Canada? She's like, oh, because I never lived in the snow. And I was like, bitch, you don't pick this. No, not while you going into seclusion. You get what I'm saying? Like you can need to go somewhere where you gonna want to be at, and then if traveling is easy, then you could just fly there or something. But you're not going to girl. You go wherever you want to. Basically, is what I told her. Cause I ain't, I can't be the one. I've lived in snow. I'm cool. But yeah, I think that a lot of people need to focus on that. It's a lot of people that will be losing jobs, that have lost jobs. It is a war on the black and brown community, and these people say we're gonna drain the swamp, which means everybody gonna do bad. That's so when we rebuild, we're gonna hand select who we want to do good. And you got the option to whether or not you want to live your life like that. Now, don't get me wrong. You got to fight because people fought. That's where the civil rights and all that came in at. So I'm not saying just bow out gracefully. What I am saying is that it's better to start now. It's better to be more proactive than reactive. And it's better to do something now than to wait till it's too late. Especially if you have children. I don't have any kids. I got 2 dogs. So it's easy for me to just get up and go because I could be selfish because it's just me. And no shade to the people who got kids, but it's just my reality. If my job was to call me tomorrow and say, well, we're going to have to let you go because of XYZ, okay, how y'all want me to send y'all stuff back? You want me to drop it off? Y'all going to have somebody come pick it up? Okay. Because I'm still going to get my, you know what I'm saying? They're still going to cash me out. But I'm booking me a flight. I'm calling my homegirl. Hey, you going to be, because she live in Panama. You going to be in Panama around da-da-da-da-da? If she is, perfect. If she not, she going to leave the key. She already told me, just go to I'll leave the key with the doorman. And I'm heading on over there. I'm going to sell everything. Well, you know what I probably end up doing? For like my living room set, I would like for furniture, I would give that to my one of my favorite cousins because she had just got an apartment and I know she had got some furniture. But I would see if she would want my furniture. So I like send her a picture or whatever and be like, you want this? And if she want it, then I'll pack that up or I'll just ship that down there. Like I either get somebody to drive it down there or just, you know what I'm saying? Like hire one of those trucking things. Just have them come pick it up, take it on down there. And I'll just take a picture of everything in here and be like, all right, just tell me what you want. I'll load it up and then it's coming your way. And that way I could get rid of that stuff. It's helping my cousin out because that's my people right there. And then one last thing I got to do. And then, yeah, I would just get rid of stuff, Goodwill, a lot of stuff, just take essential stuff and take my dogs because I'm not leaving my dogs. But I would take my dogs. Mm. And yeah, and I would leave. I would probably leave for, I don't know, maybe like 4 years, 5 years. I don't know, because what if you get there and you really, you know what I'm saying? After 3 or 4 years, especially if you're somebody who, you know, you can find peace within yourself. So no matter where you go, you can create a home. I don't know if I'll be there for a particular place for so long and just don't fall in love with it and just not, just decide to stay there. I mean, people do it all the time. It's like, people come here and then they never go back home and they finally see their family after 30, 40 years and stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, life happens. And I'm okay with letting life happen. But I know at this big old age that I wasn't born for struggle. Now, being born in struggle is totally different than being grown and starting to struggle. I ain't doing all that for all that now. I ain't come here for that. But okay, I think I'm tired of rambling. Well, I actually ain't tired of rambling, but I think I got my content in for the day. I might come back on, child. But yeah, if you still here, go ahead on and like, share, subscribe for your girl. And I will be back. Consistency is key. I will be here posting at least twice a day. Maybe 3, but at least twice a day. Y'all know I'm working on my little 3D printer, my little project. When it's finished, I'm gonna show y'all, child. I hope I hope TikTok's still like popping, cause I got some follow. I got a nice little group of followers over there. Well, it's like 1,000 people. It ain't that many, but yeah. So I will make sure to wait a minute, what is this picture that came up? Now, see, that is not what I wanted to do. Let me tell y'all something. Now, do y'all think that Derek Jackson or Jack is kind of overcompensating because of what he did to his wife. So now he feel like he gotta treat the next one even better because not everybody gonna be watching him. And then if he don't do her right, then everybody gonna be like, see what type of guy it is? No, y'all don't think that's what it is? Okay. Well, anyway, I gotta create a thumbnail for this thing, but I will, like I said, thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, and I will holler at you guys later.